It is not precise measure of the national economic well-being, but expressed in volume, maybe sometimes, adjusted for inflation. It is the closest single number we have to measure it, which is the sum of final expenditure, exports of goods and services, imports of goods and services, private consumption, government consumption, gross fixed capital formation, and increases and decreases in the stock market. So what's very bad here is that we have seen staggering inflation, which is around 5.1% throughout the year, and we have seen a more than 27% unemployment rate, of which 52% of that unemployment rate consists of the youth. So basically, what we should be questioning is how impactful is this growth? What exactly has contributed to this growth? So we've been talking a lot about those things, and we just realized that actually not a lot is actually going to change for the average Joe on the street. And not a lot of people, just like myself and many people on the street in Limpopo, in the rural areas, basically life is just going to remain as normal. Government has announced the public sector deploying job layoffs. So that is not actually, a positive sign that we're actually heading in the right direction. So basically, this is just an announcement for me, that we've been out of technical recession. But at the same time, we must also actually understand exactly what is a technical recession. Remember, a technical recession indicator of a recession is just only 2 consecutive quarters of negative economic growth, as measured by a country's gross domestic product. Although usually the National Bureau of Economic Research does not necessarily need to see this occur to call a recession. So basically, the rising unemployment rate, inflation, consumer spending having decreased in the past, as well as a decrease in GDP, which is an outlook of economic growth in the country in the first and second quarter, does make sense of why we were in a technical recession. But at the same time, we should actually check, have we had a real growth? In my view, I don't actually believe, this real growth is there, in fact. I mean, we're not seeing any employment figures increasing or showing us any faith. I mean, not long ago, we've seen that the Rand Merchant Bank, RMB Business Confidence Index, compiled by the Bureau for Economic Research, fell to 31 points in the fourth quarter from 34 points in the third, dropping further below the 50 mark that separates net positive and negative readings. So the index had lost 6 points in the third quarter and 4 in the second quarter. I mean, while President Cyril Ramaphosa's refreshing, new focus on public-private sector partnership is welcome, the reality is a multitude of political and policy issues continue to weigh down on confidence. And that's what we should also take into account.
So, I mean, I understand the GDP, and for a lot of people that continue to not understand, GDP is just the general participation of the country at state level, whether or not they've made money. So it doesn't So it doesn't translate to what, for example, municipalities, how they've impacted people, and whether or not there's a gain. Because I'm from macro economy. Like, I believe that we can only talk about a country making money if your village or your municipality or whatever government that runs a particular smaller area, if it's making money, then that easily translates to the people.
Definitely. I mean, this is very true. We are talking about inclusive growth here. I mean, if we have so much growth that it has actually, we forecasted growth to have, previously it was on negative 0.4%. The focus was around 1.6%, of which now the release has shown by Statistics General show that it's 2.2%. But what does it mean for everybody else, like you say? If this does not impact on everybody, and there's lack of inclusivity for anybody, just like in the rural areas. Therefore, this growth doesn't mean anything at all. In fact, the private consumption doesn't actually even show any positive numbers as well. It's quite sad that we have our brothers and sisters, whom their general well-being as employment figures also shows that their general well-being in terms of health, employability, family stability will actually shown to actually decrease. So in my view, it doesn't actually show anything. We shouldn't be super excited about the whole GDP. It's very important because a lot of people are not going to benefit anything from this growth in GDP. And for me,
shouldn't that mean that government can start, regulating food prices? Because that's what we want right now. If all this GDP growth translate to food prices being decreased, then we have something.
Yeah, we do have something. But remember, the prices are not just going to decrease in in the coming weeks and the coming days. But then we have hope because petrol is expected to decrease by 1.84 cents tomorrow. So which means that if this is a sustained decrease in petrol price, therefore we can expect a decrease in inflation. A further down from 1%. So meaning that generally the prices of food will also decrease. And that will be the real win for the people. And this is what I was talking about, that if we don't see any decrease in the food prices, then there's no win for the people. Until there's a decrease in food prices, where the poor people in the country, in the rural areas, everywhere in Limpopo, can be able to buy food at cheaper prices, meaning that if an elderly woman back in the rural areas who earns about 1,200 in social grant is going to be able to buy a big grocery, which is twice as much as what she would have gotten in the third quarter. It's great. If that happens, then we're talking about a win for the general public. But otherwise, I definitely only see a win in people involved in the financial market as well as stocks in the JSE. Other than that, if people are definitely not going to have any prices reduced and everything else, then there's definitely no win. As for the general price increases in food, it will definitely torment the market. I mean, the last thing we need is regulation on price. But at the same time, I feel like what the government needs to do is to make sure that we are full on guard that price discrimination, especially in rural areas, is well taken care of and is well looked up and well inspected. So in terms of regulating price, I'm not sure if that will be the best outcome, especially considering the CPI. We are not seeing that the CPI in the second quarter and the third quarter has actually decreased. So we are actually hoping for a CPI, which is the consumer price index, to increase in this time, considering that there is a general outlook of gross domestic product that has actually increased, which means that the general corporate sales has also increased as well, which is good for the economy.
Tadishi, maybe if you get closer to the mic so I can hear you. Just one last question. What is then the relationship between getting out of the recession and decreasing inflation? Or what is the relationship between recession and inflation? Because, to people, these are jargons.
Yeah. I mean, it's very funny that a lot of people don't understand, because I've been fighting with a lot of people on Twitter about this, and a lot of people don't understand that what is inflation and recession and GDP. There's a nominal value of GDP and there's a real GDP. In order for us to get a real GDP, we have to therefore take out the effect of inflation, meaning that we're no longer talking about the nominal GDP, we're therefore talking about real GDP. So recession doesn't only focus on GDP alone. We focus on the general outlook of the economy. The general political stability, the general outlook of the economy, the skills level, its employment, government spending, the fiscal policies, the interest rate. All those things that will determine how our recession goes. So definitely there is a relationship between inflation, GDP, as well as recession. So if we have prices going up, it means that people cannot afford to buy food in a general store, which means that which means that general consumer spending will decrease.
Your last thoughts about the whole today's result or announcement?
Come again?
Your last thoughts regarding the whole announcement.
The whole announcement, we shouldn't be too excited. I mean, oil prices, we can't actually depend. Oil prices might actually increase. I mean, we've seen how oil prices have been skyrocketing. I am expecting a general pushback on the oil prices, considering that U.S. President Donald Trump has actually been against them. So we shouldn't be too excited, but at the same time, it's okay to be hopeful. But the economic indicators, especially the leading and the lagging, definitely don't, show any positive signs. But generally, let's be hopeful that, this Tumamina will do good. But I have no hopes at all.
All right. Thank you so much for chatting to us. Hopefully, we will chat more on more issues, in the coming episodes.
I would really appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. Cheers. Okay, that's Tadishi, very well informed gentleman. He's from here in Limpopo. Hopefully, we'll get him in the studio and chat to him more. We ran out of time. Time is just 4 minutes before 6 o'clock. But you must understand that you need to understand on your own what is happening. You need to make your own analysis of what is happening. You need to make your own decision. You need to read whatever is going on. And then make your own decision. Don't make a populist decision or a populist agreement and follow whoever says what must happen, what must not happen. You may have to make your own decision. You read what is happening in the news, and then you make your own decision. Having a decision that does not agree with everyone does not make you a better person. Does not a bad person. Does not say you're mad. I mean, of course, if you're on Tsiki Mazwai and you're making the weirdest of comments, fine, cool. She's on her own, that one. That's a disease. Nobody can figure out what's happening. But as a South African, a lot is going on and a lot will take place and it will affect you as an individual. And you need to decide whatever you hear in the news does benefit you positively. Not just the coloring or the label of it, just the whole thing as a whole. When you analyze it, will it practically benefit you as a person? What is it? What are they saying? Are they genuine about it or are they disingenuous about it? And it's time to be wise. The other thing is, please go get tested and play safe throughout this whole December. Everybody else, do got this December. Please play safe and take care of yourselves. So it's been an awesome evening. I learned a lot, and I appreciate the inputs and I appreciate all the text. We'll chat more. We'll have more robust issues and more robust views. So, for myself, Isaac, and the rest of the crew behind, it's a good evening.
These days, I'm more health conscious than ever. So tonight, it's stir fry for dinner, cooked in healthy Helios pure sunflower cooking oil. Helios is pure sunflower goodness, packed with omega-6. That's good for your heart, and is approved as part of the Heart and Stroke Foundation eating plan. Dinner's ready! Helios, pure sunflower cooking oil. A healthy family is a happy one.
Are you looking for property? Well, look no further. AMC Property Sales is the best deal in town. Whether you are selling, buying property, looking for property investment, or simply rental collection, AMC Property will definitely deliver. Call us on 015-293-1667 or find us at 16 Woodcliff Street, Ladena. For the best deal in town, call today and save money.
88.9 FM. Welcome to the People Station. One Nation FM. 88.9. Welcome to the People's Station. One Nation FM.